watching Medfield TV, Community Shows.
Hi, this is Rich Small, and I'm here at Medfield High School field. Is there a name for this field? Calvin George Field. All right, you can tell me who Calvin George is in a minute. We're here for a little preseason football talk. I'm here with this year's captains, and why don't we go down, Joe, we'll start with you. Just go down the line. And
I'm Joe Vachon.
I'm Stephen Williams. I'm a wide receiver.
I'm AJ Trail. I play offensive line and D-line.
I'm Dan Dealey. I play defensive end and offensive tackle.
Okay, great. You saved me a question because I was going to ask you what positions you play. But so tell me, how long we've been out in practice? So we'll start with you, Dan.
We've been here since 7:30 a.m.
And that's good.
Yeah.
And when did practice start?
We were in room 125 watching film until I think about 8:20. Then we came out here.
Okay. So AJ, but what date did it start? So you guys been practicing for?
I think about 2 weeks now. We started last Friday,
Okay.
and we started with 2 days of conditioning. We worked into helmets and shoulder pads, and tomorrow's our first day of full pads.
Okay, great. And then, and Stephen, as being the captain this year, how are things going so far?
They've been pretty good. You have to get on a lot of the kids, though, for just slacking off, not running, forgetting their water bottles and stuff.
That's not good.
Yeah.
But how about as far as, so you haven't been hitting yet?
Well, we've been popping a little, but we have full pads tomorrow.
Okay, that's good. And then Joey, from your standpoint, how do you think it's going?
It's going pretty good. Everyone's running around. I mean, we got to still get in the playbook, work out like the little bumps, but we're getting good.
Okay. So to that, AJ, what do they do? So you're an offensive lineman, defensive line too?
Yep.
Okay. So how do the coaches, who do you work with the most from the coaching staff?
I think I work the most with Gav. He's our offensive line coach. He's a great.
That's Kevin Gav?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Okay.
And I've been working with him since my freshman year at offensive line, and I think the coach I work with the second most is probably Luddy, because he's our offensive coordinator. And yeah, that's it.
So as far as a lineman, how do the plays work from your standpoint? Are they simplified, or is it a complicated system?
I mean, we try to keep it as simple as possible because we're always trying to mix people in and everyone's trying to get like reps. And so if it's too complicated, then kids won't get it. But each play, we have like plays like counters and bellies and dives, and each play has a certain formation. And yeah.
Okay, that's cool. And then Dan, what position you play?
Defensive end, offensive tackle.
Okay, so defensive end, what's your big assignment?
My big assignment is to contain the running back and the quarterback and make sure that they don't get to the outside of me and force them to stay inside.
What happens when they get to the outside of you?
And there's no help there really, because the corner's probably getting blocked, so maybe you can score a touchdown.
You don't get benched or anything?
Not usually now, but I don't know.
But it's kind of is. Joe, you're a running back?
Yeah, I'm a running back.
Okay. And so what are you looking for?
We're just looking for opening holes, trying to get as much yards as possible. Hole's not there, just put my head down, get positive yards.
Okay. Stephen, you're the receiver. So
Yep.
what's your bread and butter?
My route?
Or just what do you typically run?
We do everything. We just try to get into open space and break down the defense. Yeah.
Okay. So you just run to the open space.
Yeah.
Okay. So so to that, Steve, I'll stay on you for a second. New quarterback this year?
Yeah.
So how does that work as far as, so the last couple of years you've kind of had a rotating quarterbacks leaving the program.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you as a receiver as far as just working with the quarterback? What do you do?
You just have to treat them like equal, both quarterbacks equal, because you don't know who's going to be the starter yet. And you just got to get reps with both and then talk with them, know where they're at, stay on the same page.
So you don't work like, so like a Tom Brady doesn't take you out to his compound and you throw balls, in the off season. You don't do any of that stuff?
No, we did.
Okay.
We had some captains practices, both of them. Okay. Yeah.
So AJ, what's the expectation? You guys had a phenomenal year last year. What do you think for this year?
For the offensive line or in general?
No, just both.
I mean, I think a lot of people are sleeping on us. I think people think because we lost a lot of players, we lost all those seniors plus Mitchell, and I believe like we're going to be able to come together as a team and become a unit and work together. A lot like the team 2 years ago, where they were more heavily focused on defense and they rallied with the defense and just grinded on offense and just worked as a team.
Okay. How about you, Dan? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that there's definitely a lot of kids that left from last year, but it's good we're competing in practice so the new guys can fill those positions and trying to get ready as prepared as possible for the season.
Yeah, that is true. So, Joe, which team or games do you get most up for?
It's always Holliston and Westwood. Those are the two that we really focus on. Last year we got them, but
Yeah, first time in how many years?
9, I believe.
9?
So yeah, so I mean,
a long time.
yeah, those are big games, and we're looking forward to Hopkinton this year.
Yeah, Hopkins was tough last year.
Yeah.
They were
Overtime.
They were a tough team. So, Stephen, what, from your standpoint, what was the highlight of last year for you?
I just thought we played really well as a team. Just like every game, we would always come together and just like play well. Everyone be lifting each other up.
Okay. And then, I'll start with you, Dan. From being a captain this year, what's the biggest adjustment that you've made?
Biggest adjustment is like making sure that everyone's engaged, even the little things like walking on the field, make sure everyone's running on the field, and for scout team, make sure everyone's running out to be on scout team. Really got to take control of the younger guys and really lead them in the right direction.
So, Joe, how about you? How many you guys have mentioned a few times the younger guys? So, how many kids are on the team this year?
I think around 60.
And how many younger guys are we talking about?
Between freshman and sophomore, it's probably about like 20 or 30.
Okay,
About
so it's
half.
a good number
Yeah,
to acclimate into the team.
yeah. Just got to get them in, teach them what the program's about, make sure they're running everywhere, flying around.
So did you guys do anything special before the year? Did you guys spend some time together as captains, and then from there just do? So AJ, what's the cool thing you guys are doing with the team or thinking about?
I mean, like in the off season, we met a lot together. We had a lot of captains practices, and like we just hang out and like hang out at people's houses, go and get food together, and just kind of build the chemistry.
Okay. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I just think those captains practice helped a lot because everyone was just working hard, and it was just the kids, so like the coaches weren't here, and we could just like be together and like build chemistry.
Okay. So let me just kind of last question or two. So, Joe, this is what I'm always interested about football is just the team aspect of it. But what do you particularly like about football and playing for Medfield High School?
It's very motivating. It's really what like gets you out of bed every day. Like one day you don't want to go to school, but you know if you don't go to school, you can't go to the gym after, so you're like, oh, gotta get up. I mean, everyone's working together. When everyone's working together, it's great. Like, 'cause everyone's got to do their job, and it's hard to get everyone on the same page, but when you do, it's something special.
Okay. How about you, Stephen?
Yeah, I just think if you miss out, then like someone's gonna step up and take your spot. So like you always have to be there. You have to be grinding every day, like working as hard as you can.
That's true. How about AJ?
I love the brotherhood aspect of
Yeah.
it, because Medfield football especially, I feel like we're such a tight community and everyone's so close together and you get to know everyone. It's something special here, I feel like, because you're growing up with the kid, you're playing with the kids you grew up with, and it's just something great, I think.
Well, not because the coach is sitting over there, but I will say I think the coach does a great job as far as, and the whole coaching staff does a great job as kind of pulling you guys together as a team. And how about you, Dan? What do you like the best about playing for the high school, playing football in general?
I think the thing I like the best is, just Friday night lights, playing with all your buddies, like your best friends in front of your whole town. I don't think it gets any better than that in high school.
It's pretty cool. I think we get a pretty good turnout that comes out to the games. And
Definitely.
And is that important to you guys when you see a big crowd out here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it motivates it even more because it's just more people are watching, so got to rise to the occasion.
So last question, Joe. So as far as you guys are all seniors?
Yeah.
So what are you thinking about as far as, It's just so few games left. You got to really enjoy all these, and so is that motivating, or what are you thinking about in your last year?
I mean, you definitely got to empty your bucket on every play because you never know which one's going to be your last. So you never know what's going to happen during football. So
That's so true. How about you, Stephen?
Yeah, I just think every game has to be important, even if you're playing the worst team in the league. Every game has to be important. It could just be your last. Just gotta play your heart out.
Yeah, AJ?
I think it's like when I'm on the field, like I like think about it, like this could be my last rep, like this could be it, like so you gotta like give it your all. And like even when they make us run now, I don't view it as like a punishment. I just think I'm getting better. I think it's gonna like help on Friday nights, and that's really where my mind's at.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dan, last comments?
Yeah, I always think about what the coaches say at the end of the year to the seniors. They're always saying, leave it on the field. Don't finish with any regrets because you'll regret it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I mean, I think you guys, you've been involved with the football program through your whole high school career. Just think back to that last game, Thanksgiving or the playoffs, and just how the seniors, just what their emotions were. That's going to be you guys. And so just, remember that, and I'm sure it was very emotional for the seniors. And so, enjoy every snap this year. I want to thank the captains. Let me just remember, she's Joe, Stephen, AJ, and Dan. Is that right? Yeah. That's pretty cool. Have a fabulous season.
Thank you.
And we'll be doing the games from here, and good luck, and hopefully we'll be as successful as last year. So I guess we'll take a break here. We'll call in Coach Omberg and talk to him for a few minutes. Hi, I'm here now back with Coach Eric Omberg. How you doing?
Excellent.
Coach?
Excellent.
It's great to be out here. This is a beautiful, warm day.
Yeah.
Remember this day in November?
Yeah, that's
when
right.
it's not going to be so warm.
That's right.
And we're
Sure.
and we're sitting here in the 20s with a 20-mile-an-hour wind. It's not that great. So tell me, you started last week or a
Yes.
week ago? So what do you think? You lost a lot of key players,
Mhm.
but you have sounds like a good number of kids coming back too.
Yep.
So what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, usually the first few days we're rendering the bacon. We're just trying to get all these guys, freshmen to seniors, on the same page conditioning-wise, so they're able to put on all the pads and focus on what we're trying to instruct them. And this is coaching gold. The school's not in session. Seniors aren't applying to college yet. The freshmen aren't worried about transitioning. We have them for about a week, and we've given them a lot of information, a lot of responsibilities, and we tell them that our theme this year is resiliency. So 17 guys failed the running test the first day, and they went out and tried to pass it the next day. We made some mistakes yesterday during our team session. They corrected a lot of them today. So if this crew can continue to respond to each challenge and each setback, that's what we're looking for. That's forward progress.
So let me spend a couple minutes just on last year. So it's such a fabulous year, maybe not unexpected from your standpoint, but from just observing it over the year was a pleasant surprise as far as not only the team came together, but just, resilient. They were great, and never backed down, and had probably one of the best years probably since the Super Bowl years.
Yeah.
What is your expectation for this year? Is that something that you want to, obviously you want to carry it on, but how do you look at that challenge every year? Because every year is different from that standpoint.
Yep, it is. My goals, and I share them with the kids the first day. I ask the kids to share with me their personal goals and team goals. My goal every year is we want to get to the playoffs. It's such a fun thing to be able to play meaningful football games in November. So if we can get to the playoffs, you're usually a different team by week 8. And then at week 8, you look at who your opponents are and you strategize to go as far as you can in the playoffs. Last year we got to the second round, and we'd love to go back to the second round and have a different result. Right. So that's the goal. It starts small. The goal for me today is for them to go home and hydrate and come in tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day of full pads. So it's an emotional day, it's a physical day, it's a demanding day. And that's my goal for the next 24 hours. And then, when we scrimmage Medway, hopefully the things we screwed up today are going to look better. And then when it's Millis next week, we're hoping that we've improved off of Medway. So if we're going in that direction, then we're going at the pace that we like.
So just to the way that you practice, what are the guidelines they set for you now? Are you restricted or not, or How do they handle? Because it's in the paper all the time.
Sure.
As far as
It's actually, I like the changes as an educator. I think it's the right move. They give us 2 extra days, but they're only conditioning days.
Okay.
So we didn't touch a football, we didn't touch a bag, we didn't touch a machine. We basically ran, we did some weightlifting, we did some meetings. It's a paperwork day, getting physicals in. The second day we did a fun little military operation for them. We've done that the last couple of years. And then we did a little bit more running at the end of it. And then you assess. You can put a helmet on that second day. The third day can be a helmet. Then there's 2 days of helmet and shoulder pad. We just finished our second day of helmet and shoulder pad. Tomorrow we get full pads for 2.5 hours. We got to give them an hour break, and then we do a 1-hour walkthrough. And then Friday we can go full pads for 2.5 hours, a 2-hour break, and then a 2-hour half pad practice.
So is all that kind of legislation through the MIAA
Yes.
as far as how you
They give
handle-
us a calendar.
Gotcha.
It's very well explained. It's articulated. And again, I like it because we're dealing with a freshman athlete who may struggle
Yeah.
in sports, and we're dealing with potential Division I athletes, and we got to get them all up to speed. So I am in agreement with the MIA that this was a nice move.
Good. So to that, as far as just one more question about the
Yeah.
MIAA, just curious on your thoughts. How do you like this playoff system?
I think
what's year 4 of it, 5, 4,
yeah,
something like
5 or 6.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I mean, I like it because again, you have the opportunity that early season loss. If that happened 10 years ago, Medway went 10-1 2 years in a row, didn't make the playoffs. That doesn't happen in any other sport. So it's hard. It's hard for the athletic directors. It's hard financing when you're playing down in Dennis Yarmouth in November and you got 8 people in the stands.
Right.
But at the same time, you're giving more teams an opportunity to play in a playoff game. We have a tweak system that we have thrown out to some people that will listen, and Adam Kajurkin, who started Mass Varsity, a website and stuff, I've told him about it. I'd love to see a few less, maybe 6 teams instead of 8. I'd love to give the 1 seeds a bye, and honestly, I'd love the Super Bowls the Saturday before Thanksgiving, because I feel like hockey and basketball.
It's a great idea.
It would be, and if you won a Super Bowl and you get to go home and play Thanksgiving,
It's a great
it's a
idea.
homecoming. And if you lost the Super Bowl, you still have a chance to go off and beat your crosstown rival. So, again, change is slow with football and stuff, but given what we have, it's got a few warts on it. But I love it because it's exciting, and if you earn your home field advantage and you get on a run late in the season, anything can happen.
I don't know. I have mixed emotions about the system. I think on one hand, if your team's successful, it's fabulous because your season keeps on meaning something. But on the other hand, I do feel a little, for the teams that don't quite get there. The season's over so quick.
Yeah.
It's over like almost before they began, and
Yeah.
and the regular season is somewhat diminished now, particularly like you mentioned. Like I remember one year Holliston and Westwood played. I think they played 3 times.
3 times, yeah. They
It
did.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Regular season playoffs and then a Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And the games didn't, as a matter of fact, their Thanksgiving Day game, I don't think they even dressed half the team.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's part of that is in the playoff as much as it is the coach's decision to, if we're going to play in the Super Bowl, we don't want to get anybody hurt. And we went through that in
That's right.
06 and 07, and we told our guys, let's just go win the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we do what we do, and we're as good as we are, then it shouldn't even be an issue, But I think that's a coach's issue more than the MIA issue. But, it's, again, I don't think it's going anywhere in the immediate. And I will embrace it because we've had some unbelievable runs and we've had some great competition, and to have home playoff games, not at a neutral
Right.
site,
Yeah.
that's the good stuff.
So just a couple questions. Let's talk to the team a second. So
Mm-hmm.
what are you most excited about the team? I know, as I mentioned before to the captains, unfortunately you've had a little revolving door with quarterbacks leaving to go to
Yeah.
private programs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've ever remembered that so much in Medfield. It's kind of a new thing
Yeah.
that I've seen for the football team. I've seen it in other sports.
Yeah.
So what are you excited about?
Well, every year you're trying to take 100 pennies and turn them into $1. I mean, that's the challenge. No matter how much talent you have, or how much graduation hurts, or how much if kids transfer. I mean, what it does, graduation and transferring creates competition. And like right now, at quarterback, we have wonderful competition, and both guys are pushing each other to be better. And when a guy like John Lowell, who never missed a practice or a game in 3 years, walks out the door, well, he left a legacy with A.J. Torello.
Yeah.
And that's the legacy that he's going to leave for Stephen D. Williams and for some of these younger guys. So to see how the kids pass that torch is very helpful. But that's the challenge of it, is that can we coach them up? Can we motivate them? Can we take our crew this year, find their biggest strengths, limit their weaknesses, and have them compete in every game? And every year I feel like as coaches we're able to do that to some extent. And we've had some good success the last few years, but it hasn't been based on just John Lowell or just one quarterback, or it's been based on a whole lot of other stuff. There's a sophomore out here that we don't know about that's going to rise up midway through the season like Cam Junta did last year. You know, there's going to be a receiver that people haven't heard of that's going to make plays like Michael Greitz is going to this year. Like, that's the stuff that excites me, is to see who those dark horses are, and then to see the team start to come together, hold themselves accountable, and just compete and compete and compete. And so far, after 6 days, they've shown us that.
So what, are you more, I don't know, you can say probably equally, but offense, defense, what do you, from as far as his potential, but what do you, the way you see the team right now, is one stronger than the other, or?
I mean, usually in preseason, and we're no different, the defense is a little bit ahead because they can fly around and get a read in the key. The offense is still working on timing. We're working on, personnel and levels. We're also trying to include everyone. So we have freshmen out here that are falling over themselves too, and those sophomores, we want to get them reps before we really split up into a varsity, JV, and freshman program. But, you know, we're paying attention to all three, special teams included. Like, we're trying to get everything in, and then we're going to start polishing things when we get into the second week. But right now it's about how much mental they can absorb, all the mental reps, how they can absorb the heat and the humidity and the demands that we're putting on them. And again, there's ups and downs, but so far they're progressing each day.
Okay, let me just quickly so one thing, I have the schedule in front of me. It's a pretty tough schedule, but what I also loved about it is all the home games.
Yes.
So
early too.
And
so
they're
you
all
won't be in that booth when it's 20 out. Yeah.
That booth's great. And you kind of have you still have that similar gauntlet this year where you have Holliston, Westwood, and Hopkinton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Three straight weeks. I mean, is that the meat of the schedule when you look at it, or? And I know they were going to be all tough games.
Well, they are. I mean, that's, in 2014 we had one of the best teams. We went to the third round of the playoffs that year, and the first game.
You played Walpole in the.
Yes. Yeah. And that year, our opener against Dedham, we turned the ball over 5 times. We lost a quarterback, a running back, and our holder and our kicker, and we squeaked out. I think it was a 17-14 or a 10-7 win. So if we don't win that game, we don't go to play Walpole in the third round of the playoffs. So to me, what's coming on Friday is the biggest game, and then you reassess each week.
And how is, I know Norwood's new to the league.
Yeah.
Are they a good program?
We saw them a little this summer, passing league. They have great numbers. They have great athleticism. They have great enthusiasm. They got some really good coaches there that I think are excited for the opportunity to be in this, playing us instead of Natick and Braintree and Newton North and everything. So they, we won't see them until late, but at the same time, from what I could see of them this summer, they have some pieces that are going to challenge a lot of the teams in the TBL large.
Okay, great. I think that's the questions I had. Great luck. I know every year you guys do a fabulous job. You really do.
Thank you.
You've been with the program now. Well, I know you've been head coach, 10 years now, 11 years?
This is my 8th.
And you've been with the program for
since 01.
A lot longer than that. You guys do a great, what I like about what you do is you get everybody to act as a team. And it's a unified thing, and football is, when you do it right, can be such a great sport.
It can.
And you guys do a fabulous job.
Thank you. And thanks for covering the team. We appreciate the coverage, because these guys, they deserve it. They've won a lot of games in the last few years, and these guys know what the expectation is and what the demands are, and they're balancing a competitive high school. They're balancing future planning.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They got a lot going on for teenage kids. So
we love doing it. So
good.
Thanks, Coach.
Great.
Taking
Thanks
the
a lot.
time,
Yeah,
talking
no problem.
to us.
Thank you.
And this is Rich Small for Medfield TV, and that's our preseason snapshot of Medfield High School football, and we'll be seeing you out in the field very soon. Thank you.
You're watching Medfield TV, community show.